your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess Rose McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in.
All right, let's get started.
Get
You
this
know you know
started.
what? We've been through such a fiasco. We're not going to do the clap today. We're just going to get into it.
Let's do some finger snapping. One, two,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's cleanse the energy. Episode 12 of the weekly warm up podcast
Let's
has
do it.
finally commenced. Welcome. I am so glad we can make this happen. Praise Buddha. Praise
Correct.
whoever. I have a really special guest today that I am super excited about. My girl, Tatiana. I love her so much. I want her to be able to introduce herself. So, why don't you take the floor, my friend?
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. First of all, thank you, Jess. Yeah, my name is Tatiana, guys. I am born in Argentina, was raised in Miami, and the last 7 years have been such a ride, but such a blessing at the same time. I've been able to live these amazing lifestyles that have just shaped who I am right now and what I do and what I'm devoted to. Spent some time in Tampa, Hawaii, and have made my way back home. So I'm just so honored to have met amazing people along this ride and have finally set my roots here and planting seeds is what I like to say. And to continue to flourish all this medicine
Yes,
makes
yes.
the world such a harmonic place to be able to breathe better. That's what plants are all about.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Break down your yoga certifications because, like you said, you just got back from Thailand. I'm pretty sure you're doing another teacher training or certification right now. Like you're nonstop learning, which I absolutely love because you are just a beacon of knowledge. So, break down your certifications.
I think it's so important to always be a student in whatever we're doing. We're students to this life, but more so before being a teacher, we need to be students first because we need to put ourselves to that edge of position to absorb, to therefore be able to transfer over to others. I did my 500 training in Thailand. I went to Samui Island with Become a Yogi, Jonah Kess, an amazing teacher that I was just with not so long ago. I did my 200 at Mimi's when I first moved back, I was actually raised by a group of yogis in Tampa, which have transformed my whole life and are the ones that inspired me to be where I am and be in the position that I'm in to do this. And I told myself that I will be a forever student. I try to do one training at least once a month, whether it's a workshop, a 20-hour, 40-hour, or another 200, 300, wherever.
You don't stop.
I don't. I have one. I'm flying out to California tomorrow with one of my dear brothers. His name is Brandon. Amazing, knowledgeable yogi. And then I have another one in October until November, something with Jonah and his dad, Johnny Kest. I'm excited. It's right here in Hanu, Miami Beach.
That's so cool. So, you're going to be doing this with a son and father?
Correct.
That's amazing.
No, it's beautiful. They're the ones that kind of like have harnessed all this lineage. And I've just never taken class with his dad. Love Jonah, love him, but I can't wait to just
Yeah.
receive and learn from his own dad.
No kidding. I love that so much. Speaking of certifications, talk about why did you get into yoga? Why yoga out of all things? Was this something that you've kind of always felt like has been in your soul and your mind and your body? Was there something maybe that happened in life that kind of transformed you into wanting to take on this whole yoga career?
Beautiful question. Let's digest it.
Ooh,
We say like living your dharma, your purpose, your calling, whatever your faith or what you want to believe in is your why, your purpose. It's something so beautiful. I always tell my godmother, like, what's my goal? My goal is to make this a better place and make a change in this world and be a light for people. Just propel this light, this hardness of energy to make this place a better world, to be a better person and make others be better persons for others. I think I've really integrated this practice into my life after my mom passed away when I was 19. I was an athlete, a Division I NCAA beach volleyball player at the University of Tampa. We won a couple national championships. I was an AVCA All-American and a top flight award most of my life. But how do we de-identify from this identity we think we are and just come back to a truer essence of what we are then. We are all one shared consciousness at the end of the day, which is called Purusha and yoga. And we're all just trying to find this spaciousness, viveka, this clarity from all this discernment that we live in, all this aversion and craving that is dukkha around us. How do we step out of this and see, like, what are we in a bigger picture? And I think that has healed me quite a lot. That's when I moved to Hawaii after. And I was able to do a lot of healing and just learn from some local yogis out there that just were really big in their meditative practice, more so than asana based here in Miami. But the end goal of yoga is to yoke, which is unite, just coming back to this true essence that we're all just living a life of suffering. And that's the Eightfold Path of Buddhist philosophy.
So with your mom passing, how have you put that towards your practice and your emotions and how you handle, not even just your mental health, but how you treat people, how you do your practice, how you kind of disassociate at the same time too, to stay focused with your students and focused with your, teachings and
Just coming back to, I truly try to live a lifestyle of a yogi, try to embody it. So Anicca,
yeah.
everything in this life is temporary.
Mm,
So is our own life. So how do we live so presently, so aware, so kind? And that's the practice off of the mat.
mhm.
Things we cultivate in a 1 hour class, how can we live it outside and just bring that into for wishing? And I say every breath is an opportunity to start again. And every breath is an opportunity for a new beginning. So, how do we step off the mat and kind of find the state of bliss, the state of ananda within our days, and just the energy we try to share with others? And I think that's something that yoga does well is it teaches you how to manage your own energy,
Mhm.
step out and
Yeah.
become a more aware, more connected, more present, more loving, more kind person in this world.
I agree. I mean, and it truly does show through with everything you do, not just, in person with your practice, even on social media when you share and the things that you project is just also positive no matter what's going on in your life. You really put, and I don't want to say you're a people pleaser because you're not, but you put others first in a very, very organic way that makes people just feel very comfortable around you,
Mm,
which I really love. So I appreciate you for that.
hearing that. I love that. I'm glad that that's what you can take from anything I share. It's not about like our, our output, our algorithm. It's like, what is the impact of someone
Yeah.
taking in what they absorb from what you want to say, what do you want to express?
Your recent trip to Thailand. I mean, since it's fresh in your mind still, talk about that. I want to hear more. I haven't been able to dive in and hear about it. Obviously, I was following you on social media and all the amazing things you were doing, but let's get the 411 right now.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Thailand, when people came back, I feel like I was overwhelmed with so many questions. How was Thailand? So great to have you back. And I think the biggest thing is it's such an undescribable experience that needs to be felt. And I
Yeah.
truly wish every individual on this earth can experience something like that, like stepping away from our day to day lifestyle of society, of what we construct society to be.
Mhm.
Step back and just see a mind of like, wow, I'm so integrated. I'm dropped in a place with such high vibrational people that are all doing this inner work of inner trust and spiritual path of awakening and observing things for how deeper it actually is. And it just makes you realize like how sacred this practice is, like the purity of it. And I think I had a hard, I'm still integrating back, don't get me wrong, but it was hard initially to just come back and jump into a society where unfortunately we create structure
Mm.
because that's the hustle and bustle of life. But coming back, everyone needs to take a training like that to become a better conscious person,
Yeah,
just better person in this world.
I agree.
Besides the complex, wisdom, the knowledge, breaking down all these ancient yogi practices, it makes you such a better individual with an open mind.
When you said structure, if, I were someone coming to a class to see you or practice with you one on one, how would you describe breaking down structure to go with the flow, if you want to say?
You know, I love this question because when I came back from Thailand, I adopted a new style of teaching. It's called Seven Doorways. I kind of implemented little hints throughout my practice, but I think
Mhm.
now I've really emphasized on a form of free flow. Like
Okay.
whether it I don't really do it necessarily completely in my guided classes, but I've been doing events outside of it in my other offerings where we just enjoy a freedom, a flow of just expressive, intuitive movement to
Mhm.
truly trust your inner body and inner wisdom that holds so much ancient just magic. And this highly intelligent vessel, everything is communicated. We just sometimes have to listen to our own body versus have someone just guide you for 60 minutes and just listen to what you're told to do. That's already
Totally.
society. Like sometimes we just need to take a step back and listen, what do I truly need?
That's probably one of my favorite things about yoga is that, I am very big on trying to be in the present no matter how much I say, I'm in the present. Like I'll be on my phone, I'll be doing 17, things at once. But when I'm practicing yoga, I will realize when I'm not present in the flow or in the movement because I start to lose my balance or I am, I'm not breathing properly. I might step out of what the actual movement is that needs to be happening. And I realize that yoga is the only form of exercise that I can do besides running, which is completely different on two, ends of the spectrum, that I can really just stay present and shut off and just listen to somebody else and not be in my thoughts or not thinking about anything but being in my body.
And I'm glad you said like you fall off and that's the practice, whether you're running or I don't know, playing beach volleyball. Yoga enhances everything else we do in our lives. And again,
Mhm.
falling or being disrupted with your wandering mind, that's part of the practice.
Yeah.
That's the life that we live is like not our life is not linear. It ebbs and it flows. So once you fall off that track, how do you get back into your meditative state of just
Yeah.
meta?
I love that. Okay, so a real question is favorite meal, favorite food you had in Thailand, experience or adventure you did? I know that you went hiking a bit,
Yes, so I went for my training, but I ended up staying like a week and a half with one of my best friends
as you
is
should,
my yoga
naturally.
sister. Her name is Dominiki, and she lives in Dubai. And she's taught me a lot of like culturally yogic practices somewhere else, where
Mhm.
maybe women have to be completely covered in heated classes. Like how do you cue things differently from a cultural standpoint? My favorite food, going back to travel.
I love it.
you know,
You're like,
I
and scene.
awakening of yoga and other
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Oof, I'd have to say they had a really good snack bar with, like,
Mm,
little, like, treats, like cocoa nibs, energy bites, protein bars, but I will say most of the food we ate was plant-based because
okay.
that's the practice of ahimsa is no violence, so, being mindful and intentional with what you eat, what harm comes into it behind the food, like,
Got
how
it.
is it outsourced? Coming from an animal that unfortunately had to go as through its course to be
Sacrifice, yeah.
where it is now, so how much violence do we cause behind it? Is the practice of it.
Interesting. Are you saying in yoga? Because that's an interesting, I guess, factor, topic that you talk about not eating meat. In yoga, is it supposed to be vegetarian? Is it supposed to be all plant-based?
For the most part, it is, but,
Okay.
we're trying to live a well-balanced life of, like, there's been research
Naturally.
that comes says that a well-balanced, moderated diet now consists of, lean protein sources and
Yeah.
so what. But at the end of the day, it's like listening to your body and what it needs. I was vegan for 6 years, and I still mainly eat plant-based for the most part, but I have implemented, like, chicken.
Mhm.
Mind you, I'm Argentinian. My family says, like, I'm a fake Argentinian if I don't asados, which are like barbecues, and it's part of like our
Yum.
rituals on Sundays is to come
Yeah.
together and eat a big barbecue and watch a soccer game.
Yeah.
But, they've substituted, they'll grill me a tofu bear and
They're like, "Here, we
here.
grilled this next to our."
But luckily my sister-in-law is also kind of like me, so we're in it together.
I love that. Good. You have someone
A
to.
support buddy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you grew up in Miami. Talk about how the yoga world has changed.
Mm.
I feel like it's definitely, I mean, just like anything, it's boomed and there's a lot of different studios and places you can go to. But in general, how has it changed here in Miami?
It has changed astronomically. I feel like it
Yeah.
continues to change. Right now, there's like studios popping up in every corner, Pilates,
Every.
reformer, you name it, yoga,
Yeah.
heated, extra heated, no heat.
I wanna be a rotisserie chicken, truly. Like, I'll put my hair serums in, let those heat lamps do the work on my hair. I wanna roast and sweat and move.
No, it's changed so much. I remember when I was 9, my mom took me to my first yoga class with her, and it was at an outdoor park. It was a community event with a teacher that taught for everyone in our kind of neighborhood. I lived mainly in the suburbs when I was
Mhm.
younger, just because there was better schools out there. So I feel like we just did like non-heated classes, community classes outdoors, and now we've completely progressed to this studio culture here where studios are left and right every street we walk up. Beautiful because we're dishing out this medicine to as many people as we can, which is a great thing. But how much of it is like pure is
Yeah.
the question I'm
No, I get it. I mean, at the same time, it's really great with the fitness, health, wellness boom that's happening, and I love that,
we're
we're
transforming Miami.
yeah, and we're substituting, drinking and drugs and nightlife into health and wellness.
And that's what I love about this surplus of the trajectory of wellness. I think they're trying to make Miami Beach a blue zone now.
I
Uh,
saw that on Instagram.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that on, Clean Miami Beach or Clean Up the that's amazing.
And I love this direction that we're going because at the end of the day, your well being is like an indicator of your quality of life, your
Yeah,
longevity of life. And I think that's a great metrics of health overall is like, where are we going in the trajectory of like longitudinal studies?
yeah. It's actually huge. I'm really, really impressed with the things that this city is doing. I think that we're lucky because we have the ability because of our year-round weather and seasons, and that we have access to beaches and water and more ground than maybe some other,
Yeah.
industrial or city areas. But I think that it's really cool that a lot of people, as far as citizens and in the government, that are kind of jumping on board with this whole, restructuring of how we live.
Yeah. And you can see it in the event space as well. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
before there was no event spaces during the day here in Miami,
Yeah,
to be
none.
all at night. And I
Yeah,
feel like mainly for the most part, maybe my feed is completely already changed and evolved, but I feel like all the events now are during the day.
yeah. No, they really are, and not even that, but there's more event spaces, like you said, for the day that are designed around health and wellness. They don't have different rooms for dance clubs or whatever the hell or, stripper stages or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's for cold plunges, it's for yoga, there's for sculpt, vendors to set up for all their wellness, brands and stuff.
Not just that, look at what you do, like, the influence that you've made, it's all these running clubs, like,
Yeah, thanks.
there's so many here,
Yeah, yeah. It's
and it's
insane.
beautiful, and all of them are, like, a crowd of, like,
Just
bunch
people
of
wanting to run.
even deeper, people wanting
Yeah.
connection.
No kidding. Yeah, that's my favorite thing is just they're craving connection, but at the same time, I think it's funny though because we all have such bad social anxiety because of the fact of how bad we are with connecting these days. So
Yeah.
we're all these awkward people in our heads being like we're really extroverted, but we're introverted because the world and society has turned us into these socially awkward people, but we want community. You know what I mean? And when you say that to somebody, they look at you like, "Holy shit, I feel the same way." But, we're just not talking about it enough.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool, like how we all are bringing people together in different realms.
Everyone just wants connection, love, support.
Mhm. Yes.
We all just wanna be heard.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we had to do a little rearranging of scenery, but we're
Here we
back.
are,
Yeah, we're back in action.
back and better.
Yes, back and better than ever, baby. So we were talking about what misconception people have about yoga. Back on track.
I think it's like that you have to be flexible to even do yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga is a universal language, and you start to realize, like, really quickly, it's not even about the flexibility.
Mhm.
It's about so much more. I get a lot of students at first start, they're like, I'm not as flexible. I can't touch my toes. I can't really backbend like this. And it's not even about asana. Actually, asana means to be still. And it's crazy that it's always brought up in all these poses like Triganasana, Uttanasana,
I
but
never even thought about that.
it's mainly incorporated in every Sanskrit verb.
Uttanasana, chair pose. Is that
Utkata
right?
Utkatasana.
Oh, dang. But it
There's
was I right?
Your always yeah. I mean,
Okay.
everything has an asana in it, and at the
I
end of
love that.
to be still. That's the whole point of yoga. Not
Yeah.
this asana. I think it's actually the Yoga Sutras. It's a very traditional Patanjali's book.
Mhm.
Everyone should read it. And he just transcribes such a beautiful, complex ideology into just simple words. And
Mhm.
there's many ways you can do it in a podcast audiobook, or you can just buy the book. And I think he even only brings up like asana twice.
And also, I feel like even when we complicate it even with doing poses that maybe make us feel a little uncomfortable because we feel like we can't do it or that it's not made for us. I remember when I think it's what, 7 or 8 years ago, I started, practicing yoga, and some of the most simple movements that I like, for instance, Warrior 3, balance wise, because I was so in my head. I never felt like I could do yoga because I was too hyper, or that I was a cardio endurance, athlete, that yoga's not for me. I can't do that. Why would I be able to do that? I can't sit still. And once you start to dive into it and actually practice yoga and feel each movement and actually learn the background of it, it's amazing. Anyone can do it.
Yoga finds you when you need it most.
Yeah.
Like some people, their first time may not be like their best time, or they have like a negative experience with yoga. And I truly do say it finds you when you need it.
I actually found it. I was in Charleston and I went through a breakup. It was a very tough, tough breakup. Just because we were living together, la di da da. And I found yoga and I became addicted. I was going all the time. It was amazing. It was my way of meditating. It was my way of escaping in the right ways, obviously. But, I've always been a big journaler. That's one way of getting my emotions out, but I've never been good at sitting still or, with meditating or breathing. That's just something that I still to this day keep practicing. So
Yeah.
yoga really helped me with that and kind of grounded me. And every time I was done yoga, it's just this euphoric feeling. You can't really describe it.
It's a state of bliss.
Yeah. Truly, truly.
Yoga high after that. You forget your shoes, what day it is, what time of the
Yeah. I love that. I love it. It's so true.
I've walked this morning, I walked into my class with a block in my hand and I'm like, what am I doing?
Just in case I need it. You
Blocks are
never know.
always your friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And agree. It's crazy that you said escape, and it's crazy. It's not really, it's we walk this bridge from all this outside, from your thinking mind to your feeling heart. We walk this journey inward. And I think you
Mhm.
just get to sit with yourself and sit with everything you are and what you're feeling and just
Yeah.
absorb it.
What's a non-yoga practice or daily ritual that keeps you grounded?
I'd say my rituals, besides my yoga practice, would have to be journaling.
Mm,
I just got a little journal from Intelligent Change. They just gifted it to me.
I love that.
And I just think there's so much beauty in putting paper to pen,
Mhm.
pen to paper.
Yes.
Writing everything down is it's a form of freedom.
Mhm.
It's everything and everything that comes up to your head. There's a reason why. Just write it down, then rip the paper.
Totally. There's a woman I know that practices yoga and meditation. She does a lot of seminars, and she's talked to me about how she's held journaling seminars where you can't lift your pen off the piece of paper. You just have to keep going. Obviously, if you stop, the whole point of it is to not let you really think about what you're trying to write. And also there's sometimes I find myself when I'm writing, in my journal, that I am writing to maybe not think that people are going to read it, but sometimes your mind plays tricks where, ooh, well, what if someone's reading this? Or you're not writing a book, you're not writing to a letter to anyone. You're writing to yourself. And so I
Yes.
loved that whole practice of just not lifting a pen. And I've tried it before, and pages and pages.
I think it's really good to sing to your own truth with versus
Yeah.
holding back and trying to hide the truth. And that's sometimes like
Yep.
the trick our minds play is like kind of hiding your own truth from you for
Totally.
reason. And maybe to protect you, maybe just
Or
for
you just don't want to admit it or like read it or see it. But that's the best form of therapy, is just to get it out.
I agree. My
Yeah.
other ritual I'd have to say is walking with my dog. I used to
Oh,
go
Maui.
on amazing walks in Hawaii with him
Mhm.
and also in Tampa. We would walk Bayshore, and there's just something
Oh,
so
Bayshore is beautiful. That's in Tampa.
yes,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
trail along the water side. I lived in
Beautiful.
park in South Tampa.
Yeah.
It was just such a naturey trail where you just kinda get to see everyone. My friend
Mhm.
lived on that street, my yoga studio was on that street, so it was just like a surplus of, like, connection, but also a meditative state of, like, just a walk.
Maui is your corgi, which I'm obsessed with. I love corgis so much. They're just so funny, and I love when you share pictures of them because it's just yeah.
My dad says we look alike, me and Mal.
I mean, most I feel as if even if it's not at the start, but you kind of do end up looking like your dog or vice versa, even if
Yes.
it's morphine. Yeah, or like the behaviors.
I say that he's my yin to my yang. I'm yin, he's yang, of course.
Yes.
The crazy boy. But honestly, I would not have been able to do life without him. He was my gift after my mom passed away, and he's
Well,
held with me through my lowest and through my highest. And I just say I'm like, I don't know what I'd do without him.
he's your soul dog.
Yeah, he's traveled across the world with me. And I almost took him to Thailand, but I was like, maybe this one's too far. That's 2 days traveling. And
Yeah, yeah.
he's done a
But
lot.
that's same with Welker. I feel like he's gone out of country with me. He's traveled to every state that I've bebopped around. So I can relate to that totally. Can you share a moment when yoga completely changed the trajectory of your life? And I think we kind of
I think before I left to Thailand, I was very tired, very burnt out from teaching so much.
I remember us talking about that at the Miami Open, actually.
Oh, yes, we did. We talked about this.
Yeah.
And I think I was very hesitant to go because it's a sacrifice to just leave for a whole month and just drop everything you're doing, kind of just go away for a while and just receive. But I think coming back, I'm still integrating this, but the impact it had of the people I've met, my form of teaching, how I want to deliver, and like my bigger why has changed.
Yeah.
Like, what's the impact I want to leave, my legacy?
I can even see it on you from before you left to now. I mean, not that you weren't your bubbly, bright self, but you could tell just some of not the life, but you were drained. You were unsure about what you were really wanting to do, the purpose, I guess you could say, or how you could really explore yoga in your career more. And I mean, ever since you've come back, it's just you're glowing.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I feel
Yeah.
like you're in a high vibrational state.
Hmm.
Continue to like share and transfer it. And I'm still teaching quite a lot, but
Yeah.
I think what flipped is my fuel. Like, what type of fuel are you exponentially like just radiating?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this week I had the honor of teaching my old high school volleyball team.
Wait, amazing. I love that.
Love this. They're going to a really important tournament up north. It's a Nike tournament.
Cool.
This is exactly how yoga transformed me. My coach in volleyball at the
Hmm.
University of Tampa, she's the one that taught me. She didn't coach me strategically, like technically, like we need to play defense like this, we need to play offense like this. She
Yeah.
she taught me yoga in volleyball. She taught me about breath work, vagus nerve regulation, nervous system regulation. How do you see things and try to slow down the rhythm of the game of this life? And
So yoga's just always been in with you, like in your body and instilled in you, which is pretty wild to say the least. It's picked you. Yoga picked you.
yeah, I think it's crazy because they wouldn't recruit you, they wouldn't scout you if you didn't already have some gifts of athletic capabilities.
Yeah,
So it's just funny how they use their own skills. She was a yoga teacher, an aspiring yoga teacher, and she's a phenomenal, knowledgeable yoga instructor to this
hmm
day. I just can't believe she gifted us that gift, and she even
hmm
taught us a few classes. We had in our training programs about 3 yoga classes a week, and just the impact of community, like being coming from a place of vulnerability and humility, no hierarchy of like, she's this girl, she's an amazing athlete. She nothing about these goals, achievement. How do we detach from this ego of identification and just connect in a deeper sensation of what we are? And
that's
how to use these skills to navigate life on this side.
I love that it's like yoga and volleyball put together.
And my teacher always says this, just embody this practice and life will take care of you. And somehow I do believe that because it has.
It truly has. No, I love
Whether
that.
your path is good or bad, the bad is happening. Like maybe your camera not working or
Yeah,
not working yesterday was part of
yeah,
that path. We're just
absolutely.
walking our walk right now.
Yeah, we have better conversation today.
Yeah.
Because you have beat bopped all around with yoga, whether it's your teachings, whether it's learning, where is your dream destination to teach yoga?
I'm gonna have to go with India because it's the motherland, it's the root of the whole yogic practice. And my second one will have to be Costa Rica.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really want to do it over there. I think there's so much beauty in nature. I've never gone,
Hmm.
but my family just went not so long ago, and I just love islands. I love islands. I mean, I lived in
Yeah.
Hawaii for a while, and I think Costa Rica is like the Latin kind of aspect of island life that I kind of want to explore and just see where that goes. So India and Costa Rica are on my bucket list soon.
I could see that. I could see that for sure.
I've actually wanted to live. I might one day, maybe I might move there.
To India or Costa Rica?
Costa Rica.
I could see you there, truly.
Just want like a little villa, maybe do a retreat center one day over there.
Ooh, I'd go. I
Yeah.
like that. I'd visit you. For those that might not know, break down the different forms, for instance, vinyasa, yin, restorative, because obviously when we're looking at a schedule at a yoga studio, there's different types of yoga. You'll also see power. And for somebody that maybe doesn't understand that or is just starting yoga, what do each of those classes mean?
Beautiful question. Every type of yoga is targeted for different people. And I think the combination of all of them is beautiful because as much as I love like power, it's a very resilient, internal tapa fire intensive class where you're building discipline, cardiovascular. Vinyasa actually means to sequence in a strategic way. Vinyasa. And
Mm,
it's like a fluid flow of breath-led movements. Everything is breath-led. It's a breathing class first, but that's the beauty of like yin and restorative classes. You get to like nurture, activate your parasympathetic and just slow things down, really intensify whatever you're holding for a little bit longer. And I think it's the end goal at the end of the day is to target just everyone and just see what
mhm,
resonates, what doesn't, what they feel aligned. And that's the practice to find stillness to kind of reach the state of enlightenment, which may differ in definition, but I think for me, it's to find that highest, truest potential of you. And I think another big point is Yoga Sutras 1.12, Yoga Chitti Nidrona. I believe it is what it is. Don't butcher me on the Sanskrit, everyone. But it's to still the fluctuations of the mind. And I think
ooh,
that's the goal is like finding viveka and your truest consciousness, Purusha. These teachings, man, it's just purity of mind is what it is.
yeah. I mean, you're also learning a whole new language as well, which is pretty amazing. You're not only just doing yoga as far as the practice goes and the movements. I mean, you're so hella strong. Like some of the movements you do, I mean, you go upside down, flip your body into a pretzel, but at the same time, you're also speaking 17 different languages of one movement. It's just honestly really, really remarkable.
Yeah, it's how do we simplify all these teachings and make it accessible for people to
Yeah.
really digest and just try because we just get stronger by trying, you know?
Because I've had such a great time with you. Is there anything you want to say? Are there any projects you're working on?
I would love to share this. So, I'm the founder of Miami Meditation Club on Fridays. It's not
Mm,
even like it's just a free community event. I just want to really expose the practice and allow you to receive the practice of meditation. I think we have a hard time being able to sit with ourselves. And I think a good form of accountability is what actually keeps us integrated in it. So I
mhm.
do that at 6:30 every Friday at the park. I have an Instagram for it. Hopefully we can insert it somewhere here. It's at Miami Meditation Center.
We
And
will.
besides that, I'm in studio classes. I am now doing event spaces for Seven Doorways. That's kind of my lineage, Ashtanga Vinyasa. And hopefully,
Ooh, I like that. And what is your Instagram?
Tatiana Gutierrez Galeano.
Don't worry, we'll tag that.
You're so welcome.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Tatiana Gutierrez Galeano.
Yeah. Well, I have that one, but you'll need to send me the other one. Well, thank you so much for joining. You're absolutely incredible. I'm so thankful that I've gotten to know you and that you took the time under the circumstances to be
I'm
on this.
just so honored to be here. I think we met, you came to one of my classes and it was like
Yeah,
then on. And I think this practice has a great way of putting people at the right places at the right time for you.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So thank you so much.
honor.
And that's that.
That's that.
And we're done.
Yeah, baby, we did it.